Hi everyone. Are you someone who's holding a grudge and you can't get rid of it? It's just there, you don't like that about yourself, but you don't know what to do about it. If that's the case, then this is an audio for you. Because here I'll explain what a grudge is, and automatically once you know what it is, you will know what to do with it. Let's start from the beginning. You have been victimized. Something happened, you feel victimized. You felt powerless, you felt helpless. You didn't know what to do in that moment. Or maybe what you did made you even more feel more like a victim in that situation. And this has happened to you, and now that memory seems to come back over and over again of its own accord. And there's a part of you that wants them to pay. You want to do something to them. And that's how, on the surface level, a grudge looks like. Let's go deeper. And deeper, let me put myself in the part that holds the grudge. So I find myself victimized. I am helpless. And I am in shock because of that. Because for me, it's terrifying to know that I can find myself in a situation where I have no clue what to do, or what I did made me even that much more victimized, that much more helpless. So I'm terrified by the idea that I can't protect myself, that something bad can happen to me and I am completely helpless. I can't stand that, because suddenly this life feels so threatening that I want out. I want something. I need something, because this is too much. This is overwhelming. And there's a part of me that is in shock that this could have happened to me. And there is a second realization that hits me, and that is that this can happen to me again. And it was horrifying to go through that once, but having to go through that again, and all the time knowing that I can't help myself, I can't protect myself, that is even more horrifying. So I'm fretting now. I need to find a way out. I need to know how to protect myself, because this is not admissible. I can't live like this. So what do? I come up with this strategy that let me put that memory, that moment in time where I was victimized, let me put it in front of me so that I can always remember that that can happen, and that by remembering that, I'll never have it happen again. And if I have it in front of me, if I always remember that moment where I was victimized, then I'll always be on high alert. If I'm on high alert, I'm always protecting myself. And this is my strategy. So do you see that part, the grudge, the memory that comes up over and over again? It's a part that doesn't want to feel helpless and wants to, and has come up with a strategy to survive from it, to keep itself protected from that kind of thing happening. But maybe at the beginning it's this helps. Knowing that helps. But on the long run, having that image come up over and over again is stressful. So it's actually creating more anxiety in it, because every moment you're haunted by what happened, and you can feel it in your lower belly. Some of us need to wake up in the middle of the night, go to the toilet all the time, because if you feel into your lower belly, you will see all that stress, all that anxiety and everything churning there, all that resentment and everything, right? And the resentment and that, comes up, the grudge come up because now it's almost like you have this sign, the stop sign, in front of you all the time, which keeps you from falling into that quote unquote trap again. And it's, and a part of me is always amazed by these strategies that come up in us. And it's amazing because this part is really trying to hold you safe in its own way. But then there's another part that comes in and says, but forgiveness is nice. We should all forgive. We should all be pious. And this part go against the other part, the one that holds a grudge. And there's a war that happens inside between the pious one, quote unquote, and the one that is holding that grudge and is maybe seen as a monster, right? But once you understand these parts, you understand what is happening. It's like, what if you went towards it? Because, the part that is pious, forgiveness. I mean, that makes sense because that would give you peace, right? So it's not about being pious, but maybe it's about having that inner peace. And the other part is not being gullible in the future, not being ignorant, but knowing what you can do so that you don't get victimized again. So maybe it's about developing resilience. And becoming more wise in the end. Maybe these kind of experiences happen for us to know more about our own powers, or the wisdom that we have, the energy, everything that we have, the resilience that we have. So what to do in that moment? In that moment, it's really about going back to what happened and start, to understand every layer. Because when you start going back towards it and feeling into that feeling of the grudge, feeling what it's telling you, feeling that helplessness, feeling that shock, feeling the fear of being in a world that is so threatening that it's just hard to be in your skin. When you start feeling all these parts, you let them in, they become part of you, you integrate them. And when you start integrating them, because these are energies, they become part of you. You expand, and automatically you know much more. You have more of energy. You know more. And you automatically open up. It just happens on its own. You don't have to look for it. Really, don't look for it. Because if you look for it, then you're going to find some old, boring solutions from the past. But when you open up, what happens is that intuitively solutions will come to your mind. Intuitively, you will know how to protect yourself without having to go against the other person. Intuitively, you will know how to stand by yourself without having to obsess over all the problems that came up in your life. Intuitively, you will use every moment that you felt helpless, victimized, as a stepping stone to finding your own resilience. And through that, you will go to the part of you that wants forgiveness, which means the part of you that wants that inner peace. And you'll get that inner peace automatically. So holding a grudge is not bad. Holding a grudge is all the things that I've told you. It's a part of you that wants a solution. It's a part of you that doesn't want you to be unsafe in this life. It's a part of you that wants to go from ignorance to wisdom. And it's a part of you that wants to be felt and heard. Because these are fears that are there. We all have them, and it's about letting them in. And so, yeah. Let me just stop it here. If you have any comments, any questions, let me know down below. Ciao, ciao.